And you said you were in there, and there was just people bloody, some people Burmis was telling me some people so bloody they couldn't even get up. And again, most of these were college students because the police couldn't find anyone that wasn't submitting. So they would go into neighborhoods and attack old women. They would go into shopping areas and attack old women, small children. And it's more than just anger. I am physically nauseous, and I know you are. So, give us your boiled out of the whole event, your arrest, what you witnessed. Thank God they dropped charges on you. They have it on Luke. And then we'll get Jason Burmis's take on this.
It was just a total ridiculous show of force coming from the police, and just going after people. We were in this neighborhood of Lawrenceville the first day that riots started happening, and they had sound cannons that they were shooting in these neighborhoods. I would say by the time they brought them in the second time it was after the first time we broke it on the air, and then the second time they did it, there was they were in a neighborhood, and it's where two streets meet up. People are coming out looking, what's going on? Why are there so many cops here? There's maybe 20 people. Luke was out there with his little sound cannon, I guess you could call it. But he was saying, why are you doing this? We're your brothers, we're your sisters. And they would just keep playing the thing over and over again. The sound, you need to leave. City of police or chief of police has said this is an unlawful gathering, unlawful assembly.
And we're going to play that later. And they keep saying this is a less lethal weapon. That was the true name in the '60s when they invented them, because rubber bullets can kill you, microwave guns can kill you. So now, first they tell you it's not lethal. Now they're saying no, we may go ahead and kill you.
Pretty much. And they turned that thing on, and people would run with their ears covered, run from the cannon. They were turning,
but it goes through your skull. And people keep saying they'll put earplugs in. That does nothing.
I don't think it does, because I saw.
No, that's how it works.
And they were. I mean, anytime they would turn that on, I'd have the guy aiming it at people. I was behind him. I was up on a roof shooting that stuff, and it was total terrorism on their side.
Well, we have some photos and videos of little kids, but Douglas had to get back to his family today. But he's going to upload the video tomorrow, and he'll be on the show with us. The other fellow from our office that went with you, and he said repeatedly people would come out on their front porches and they would aim it at them.
Yeah.
I mean, the cops are that is so criminal.
It's with glee, and I think they really liked it, because you try to talk to these people when you're up close to them, and they didn't want to have anything to do.
Well, the bankers are going to love taking everything they've got.
Oh, yeah.
And go ahead, officers, take all the shots. Trust the government.
And let me tell you, when we were detained, imprisoned, arrested, whatever we want to call it, these pot-bellied, mindless people walking around with their paperwork, just disgustingly fat. It was kind of funny to watch, because these people don't know what's in store for them. They really don't. They're going to get cancer, they're going to die, and they're going to get beaten down. And it's going to be funny when it happens to them. Although I shouldn't say that, but I think it's...
Well, they don't know the White House admits they're poisoning the water in the vaccines. Right. They don't know that's why they can't have children. They don't know why that's why everybody they know is dying at 35 of cancer.
Right. And to them, it was left, right, Alex. We get escorted out to the bathroom, and they're like, well, why are you guys protesting? I said, I was just there covering it as press. I said, but what you guys did was a total ridiculous show of force. There was maybe 300 people there. You had 1,200 cops. And then half the people you arrested are kids. They're like, oh yeah, well, that's just their liberal. It was all liberal to them. These liberals, we need to take care of them. I said, what does that mean? And then they started talking about how they would go to the teabag things. And so it's total left, right to them. They think it's left.
But wait a minute. I've seen the video of Gadsden flags and InfoWars shirts. Mm-hmm. From the videos I've seen, it looks like a large portion of it was our listeners.
And people chanting in the Fed, and we got a lot of in the Fed chants going on.
So here's the cops attacking in the Fed people that a week before were at tea parties with them.
Exactly. And because they don't know the difference. They think there is two sides, and there isn't. There's the American people, and there's tyranny. And what we witnessed and what we felt was total tyranny.
Well, you were handcuffed, you were taken to jail, you were told you were arrested, so that is an arrest. When you're pulled over, that's detainment. But Luke was charged. Now, Luke told Burmis what happened to him. He's coming up later in the next hour, but tell us what Luke told you.
Well, basically, he was taken to state prison, whereas the 100 or so protesters that they took with you were in a big room, right?
We were in a big room.
And they were all.
You said you were with Luke in jail at first.
Yeah, we were with Luke. They wouldn't let us talk. They had National Guard telling us, "Don't talk, look straight ahead. Don't talk, look."
Surprised they didn't put bags over your heads.
Yeah, exactly. And then we were outside they brought us out in the cold, and we were sitting there, and it started to drizzle. And then we see Luke and about 5 other guys bring them out. And sometimes they were letting people go early, and they were handcuffed in the front. Well, Luke and the 5 other guys that he was with, they were all handcuffed in the back. So we knew.
Just a moment. But, Rob, you were telling me more stories of them torturing people on the ground, handcuffed people with pepper spray, with the with the tear gas.
Yeah, after they had us get on our knees, there was another group of students laying down. I was near Luke and Daniel from We Are Change, and there was one other guy. And because I had tried to get out, show my press pass, and they weren't having that. They pushed me back in, told me to get down for my safety. And they tried to take my camera too, and I grabbed that back from them, put it in the bag, closed it up, left it running. And then I look over, and there's a bunch of kids laying down, and these are college students. They're wearing flip-flops. They're not out there running from the cops, and they're spraying them down with pepper spray.
Because, again, this park's there on the edge of the university.
Yeah, it butt up right up to the...
it's 10 o'clock at night.
Yes, the dorm rooms are right there.
And that's where the police can find somebody who's out.
Sure.
So they're like hunting for any slave that dare comes out under the martial law.
And one guy showed me his text that he got. It said escalation that they get from the university. So they went out to see what was going on. So... they get this text, his escalation. Him and his brother run out there. He's these two twin brothers. And they were going to take pictures of it. But they get out there, cops shove them and throw them in. And then I heard some people saw some news reports. They actually went into the dorms after people, looking for people.
So now you can't even be in your dorm in America. Yeah. Well, that's Al-Qaeda. So why were they spraying the people with tear gas that were on the ground?
I guess so they would submit, but I mean, pretty much when you're laying on the ground, I don't know how much more submission you can do unless you're...
Well, they're not going to submit till they go into the gas chamber for their safety, delousing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, after they beat the young gentleman on the bike, and it's on the video, it's up at the Alex Jones channel right now, the kid finally got his bike back. They just broke his knuckle. You can hear him in the background saying, "You just broke my knuckle." It's still not enough. The guy just shoots off the pepper spray. I'm lucky I didn't get it. I was about 10 feet away from the whole thing. Basically, I heard the guy screaming, and I'm trying to watch my back, not get arrested, still get this on tape. They beat this kid. He's got a peace flag wrapped around him, maybe 120 pounds, maybe. And he reaches down to go get his bike. They're hitting the bike. They break his knuckle. He grabs it back. Pepper spray again. They're launching tear gas canisters. I was in touch with Cindy Sheehan and a gentleman named Josh throughout the entire thing. They're texting me. They're letting off tear gas canisters everywhere. They've cordoned off all of Oakland. And again, this is right around the university. The end of the video is just another bystander that got so caught up in this by accident that he took the tear gas. His whole face is beat red. They have to bring him to the hospital. I mean, he's literally being brought by two of his friends.
Well, the issue here is, just like China or Russia, they're setting the precedent to do this to the American people, and the whole world sees this. I mean, AP admits that they were attacking people's homes, people on their front porches in broad daylight all over the two cities, Oakland and Pittsburgh itself. I want to go to this video and audio here in just a moment. First time it's ever been seen of during your arrest, and also some cut-ins of what happened to Jason Burmis. But I want to point out that at the same time, you've got world leaders meeting, saying the end of the dollar, calling for global government, calling for global carbon taxes. Al Gore's there running around doing all of this. And the police are just frothing to show off to the world leaders. And Friday night, the world leaders have already left. It's over. They're marching down to the university to hopefully find somebody who's out at night.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the real issue. You watch my video, and I start off with how many protesters there are. There are not that many. Then I cut to how many police there are. I'm in essentially a 9/10 empty park. The park is 9/10 empty, and I am by myself just trying to get things on film. I'm chased down. I'm about to be arrested. Dogs are barking at me.
Well, that's why they're passing laws for $15 million fines for garage sales and SWAT teaming farmers that sell eggs on the side of the road. We are the slaves. We are the producers. We are the people. And they've stolen tens of trillions. They're getting us ready to be squeezed to pay all these new taxes to the new bank of the world. This is our submission. This is teaching us to be slaves, teaching us to capitulate, teaching us to have a broken back, a broken mentality. We are being brought into bondage. Do you gentlemen agree?
I agree. And I think the people that I was with, they all look broken, these young kids. I don't see them ever protesting again. I think that...
Well, that's the message, is that like 5 years ago in Portland, they came up to a permanent protest and sprayed babies in baby carriages. There's video of this. And the mother said, "You just sprayed my 2-year-old. And he goes, "Listen, you effing bleeper, you shouldn't bring a baby to a protest." And so and listen, don't worry. The police are going to be judged by their own government. They're going to be judged by the vaccines they trust. They're going to be judged with their bank account. All of you people that serve this evil system and enjoy what you're doing, you have no idea what you're part of. You have no idea how real this is. Just like German soldiers and German police in 1937 had no idea. And
once you feel it, you will believe it. You will.